thank you for clicking on this video. Alright, so y'all know I bring to you reactions, music, funny. I'm trying to bring it to you all on this channel. You feel me? I'm trying to make my channel, our channel, be the channel to go to you never know what you're gonna get when you pop up. Like, oh, let's go see what React is doing right now and see what he's reacting to. Well, right now, I got a story I just popped up on. I didn't even know nothing about this, and I like stuff I don't know about. So let's hit the like button. We going with Mr. Ballen. If y'all don't know about Mr. Ballen, Mr. Ballen could read off the back of a cereal box, right? And make it seem like an action-packed, suspenseful movie. I promise you that. If y'all don't know, check in the description. His link will be there. Let's go. Hit the like button. Now, this is about a Mexican Tupac. Yeah, Mexican Tupac.
In 1962, Chalino Sanchez was born into a poor family in the Mexican state of Sinaloa. When he was just 15 years old, one of his sisters was assaulted by a very rich and powerful man in their town, and so he never got punished for it. 2 years later, when Chalino was 17, he saw this man at a party, and he walked up to him and shot him in the head, killing him instantly. After the murder, Chalino fled to Tijuana before ultimately crossing the U.S. border.
I like him already. Let's get it.
Into Los Angeles, where he stayed with his aunt. He worked odd jobs like picking vegetables and selling.
Also, I would like to say that these Mr. Ballen videos won't have that many pauses in it because he can't be interrupted. He can't be interrupted. It has to be a full flow. So I like to pause and I like to get my little thing 1 2 1 2. But in these, I'm just gonna. You know what I'm saying? I can't because you won't get the full of the story.
Cars before he ultimately went into business with his brother, who was back in Mexico, and he worked with him to smuggle Mexicans into the US. But that operation stopped in 1984 when his brother was murdered in Tijuana. To commemorate his brother, Chalino, who always loved music, wrote a song about him. And he formatted the song in the typical Mexican ballad style called corrido, but his lyrics were graphic and gritty, something nobody else did when they wrote a corrido. Chalino spoke honestly and openly, not only about how his brother was killed, but also the struggles of living around drug trafficking and violence in Mexico. Shortly after writing the song, Chalino wound up in jail in Tijuana, Mexico, and while he was there, he would sing the song he wrote about his brother, and other inmates heard it and loved it. They'd never heard a corrido sung like that. So they asked Chalino if he would write songs about them and their exploits. Soon, Chalino was being commissioned by all these inmates in this prison to write their songs in exchange for money and for favors. When Chalino got out of prison, his
young Pharaoh, that's how you make money in jail. Alright? That's how you make money.
unique songwriting abilities had spread beyond the prison walls to other criminals and drug traffickers and kingpins in Mexico, and before long, Chalino was being approached by those people to write their songs. His corridos pioneered a new subgenre of music called narco corrido for their ties to the narcotics industry. Some people today compare the style and lyrics of the narco corrido to gangster rap. By 1987, Chalino's music was not just being shared amongst his paying clients. It had spread into Los Angeles and all over Mexico and was becoming very popular, even though it wasn't being played on the radio because radios thought his lyrics were too graphic. And so it was spreading largely because
this sounds exactly about how gangster rap was formed, like NWA. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly how they was talking about how they was rapping about how it was to be in the hood around drugs and gangs and violence and whatnot. He is doing his in Mexico, in Spanish, and rapping about how it is to be around the cartel, and it's the same thing. That's what I want to let y'all know. We are all one race, the human race, but we are just dealing with it on a different, like, everybody got their own battles, but we all are just one, and we have more in common than a lot of people think. Sorry, I had to get that out.
Of word of mouth, and because Chalino himself would go to car washes and street corners and he would sell his cassettes to anybody who would take them. By 1991, Chalino was so famous that he actually went on tour, and everywhere he went, the venue would be...
That's Pac! That's Pac! Oh!
completely sold out. But given what his narco corridos were about, largely about drug trafficking and the people that are involved in that ecosystem, the people that would actually come to his performances were often rough and dangerous people, or were at least tied to rough and dangerous people. In 1992, when Chalino was performing in California, while he was on stage, this 33-year-old guy rushed onto stage with him and drew a gun on him, and Chalino, who was always carrying a weapon himself, drew his pistol and fired at this guy first. And then what ensued was this crazy gunfight on stage, practically point blank, between Chalino and this guy. And they both managed to shoot each other. Chalino got shot in the lung, and this guy got shot in the mouth. They would both survive. But
Yo, he really is the Mexican Pac. Yo, he really is the Mexican Pac. He out on stage doing his, and then just run up and he pow, 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 pow. What? This is woo.
Audience members also got shot, and one of them actually died. This made international headlines and, by all accounts, should have devastated Chalino's career. But in fact, it had the opposite effect. It made him 10 times more famous because Chalino, he was representing narco corrido music. And so in being the face of that, he kind of represented drug trafficking and criminals and outlaws all over Mexico and in the United States. And so he was kind of representing a very tough group of people. And so for him to have stood his ground on stage and shot first at this guy coming to attack him, it made him look brave. It made him look like a warrior. It validated him as the right person to be the face of narco corridos. But Chalino also understood that this probably was not the last time that someone was going to try to hurt him. That in virtue of being the face of narco culture, there's bound to be people that are very violent that don't like him, and they might come after him too. And so he actually told his inner circle that he thought his days were numbered, that at some point someone was going to kill him. 4 months after the shootout,
him and Pac, this is crazy. They got so many celebrities. This is crazy. Pac knew he was about to go. Like, this is that. Wow.
Chalino was back home in Sinaloa, Mexico, performing at a concert that his friends had told him he shouldn't do because he had lots of enemies in his hometown. But Chalino really wanted to do it. He got into the venue, he got on stage, his band was getting ready, thousands of people were coming into the audience, and before the show started, somebody handed him a note. And so Chalino takes the note, he's smiling, he's kind of looking around at the crowd, and then he looks down at the note and he reads it, and right away his expression completely changes. He looks distressed, he rubs his brow, he frowns, he kind of looks up at the crowd like he's looking for someone, and then he just goes blank in the face, and he's looking out like he's looking past the crowd. And it's this long period of time where he's just blank staring into the audience. And then all of a sudden he just snaps out of it, takes the note, puts it in his pocket, picks up the microphone, and proceeds to give one of his best live performances to date. After the concert was over, Chalino made a special effort to say bye to everybody in his band, and he said bye to some people in the crowd. And then finally, after this kind of long drawn out goodbye, he walked out the back door. Shortly after, he was kidnapped, tied up, and then shot in the back of the head, execution style. It would turn out that note he received on stage was from his killers, who we don't know exactly who they are still to this day, but the note said, after this performance, we're going to kill you. And so that was the reason Chalino...
Cartel. That's cartel work. That's cartel work. And he knew, he read it. He was just like, damn, I might as well just go hard right now. Like, ain't no way out. They probably got all the exits covered. They got the drop on me. I might as well just get the best performance of my life. Damn, that's gotta suck.
Was so distressed because whoever it was, he obviously understood it was a credible threat. But instead of panicking, he just decided he would give an amazing performance and then face his destiny. And so when he went outside, he knew he was going to get murdered. And he did. Here is the moment Chalino was handed that note on stage, informing him he had been marked for death.
Oh, that moment. Oh, he nervous. Oh my God, my stomach. Oh, the bubble guts. Oh, the bubble guts. That motherfucker said he got all the sweat off that. He was like, ooh, he is. I would have been like, yo, I would have said something. I'd have tried to do something to get up out of there. I'd have been like, yo, I gotta take a shit. They probably got the bathrooms on smash. They probably got his car on smash. He wasn't getting out. He wasn't getting out. Because y'all know how the cartel do. Cartel, like, I just had it wasn't just, but a person from my town was dating a chick in Mexico, and you know, there was all he was flashy, had a lot of money and shit like that, and make a long story short, they got swooped on, and he only got into an argument with a low ranking member of the cartel, a low, and he was living in Mexico, and they swooped in on him and car shredded cheese, shredded mozzarella, like, man, look. Hold on, we gotta go back and get the full without my big mouth.
And he did. Here is the moment Chalino was handed that note on stage, informing him he had been marked for death.
He was looking for a way out. He looking around like, damn. All right, y'all. That's it. I ain't gonna go too further because I don't know what else is after this. But that's scary right there. That's very scary right there. Hit the like button and subscribe if you're not already down with us so we get stronger by the second. I love all y'all. Stay blessed. Peace.